Hello, welcome to Reaction Shots for June. Special guest, Michael Huber.
Oh my god, he's a husband now.
He's a husband
Yes.
now.
Once told
Get into
unlikely
this
to
mic.
take a wife.
Yeah.
I don't have the cool wrestling chair that's padded in the seat.
We offered.
Nah, you guys
didn't want
deserve him.
Yeah.
You don't want it. Anyway, actual special guest, Elyse
Oh,
Willems.
thanks for having me.
From Fun Haus. Am I saying that right?
Fontenune.
From Fontenune.
Michael Hughes.
I'm honored to be here. This is
I'm
a
honored
little,
to
like
be here.
man up
I'm
style
honored
right here.
that you're both honored to be here. Yeah, but we're gonna be here fast and loose, talking about Wes Anderson. I'm not gonna put time codes in the thing. Sorry,
E3 week.
things are too crazy.
Somebody
Yeah.
time code that. Time code
Time
the part
code
where
that.
he says no time
No
codes.
time codes. I don't know how you been, Elyse.
I'm well. Gearing
Yeah.
up for E3, gearing up for the summer.
Yeah.
What's the most exciting thing you want to see at E3?
Oh my god. I never have anything that like I'm anticipating. I just want to have something surprise me.
Nice.
Have a new
Good
IP
answer.
come out that surprise me. If Nintendo did announce a Captain Toad Treasure Tracker 2,
Oh, yes.
I would be all about that. Sorry,
What about that Switch version with those Donkey Kong levels? Hype.
That's. I mean, the first
That's
one's
the
the
one.
port's coming to Switch this month. I don't need
Aren't
to tell
they-
you that,
Aren't
but
they
next
Mario
one.
Odyssey levels?
Mario Odyssey levels with Donkey
Yeah,
Kong.
Odyssey.
Sorry.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
is Donkey Kong in it?
I don't
I
think I'm
there's
making
Donkey
it up.
Kong.
Donkey Kong is in Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
But you know
getting
what?
them mixed up.
I play it though, and yeah, I was playing a ton of Destiny 2,
Yeah?
like a lot of Destiny 2, and then I noticed that they're changing the like season pass structure and stuff.
Yeah.
I could get excited for something to do with that, but like I said, I think it's just new IP, something that like that's the most exciting
Some
part.
kind of
Yeah.
big surprise.
Big ol' surprise.
I like it.
Oh,
Sweet. Well, let's get into talking about movies and TV.
Dude, I want to know what Elyse has been watching. Real
Yeah, we
bad.
start out with a segment
I know
called
what you watch all the time,
What,
Ian.
what have I liked recently? What have you liked recently, Lee?
who, me?
Yeah, or
Oh,
unless you want Huber to
jeez.
go first, take
Oh
the
yeah,
edge off.
you can go ahead. Yeah. I want to know what Hubert. I know what you've been watching.
Yeah.
I can see your notes.
Yeah, you know.
I got a big one that I really want to like spread awareness on.
Look at these notes.
Upgrade.
Oh yeah, I want to see this.
Don't let what happened to Dread happen to Upgrade. This
Dread
movie
is phenomenal.
Dread is phenomenal. This is a very, very low budget movie from I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Lee Wanhall. Anyway, he's James Wan's partner in crime. He did Saw, Insidious, and now Upgrade.
So is it
And
horror?
There's a little bit of
thriller?
horror, but it's way more sci-fi.
It's like
Okay.
a sci-fi action
Yeah.
thriller.
So it's like a revenge thriller where a dude, Logan Marshall Green, he was recently in like
No clue who
Spider-Man.
that is.
He was in Spider-Man Homecoming. He was the red herring shocker. Anyway, he was also in the OC.
Oh, the guy that Vulcan.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
And he was in the OC, Ryan Atwood's brother drama. Of course.
Never seen.
I never
OC
saw it.
before in my entire life.
Ah,
It's scoring well on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yes.
right? Okay, because I feel like I saw it as I was pouring through new like releases.
My phone is going crazy.
that was
That was the
them
intent.
telling you to see Upgrade.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say like upgrade.
See upgrade.
Super good. Made on a shoestring budget, as in like $2 or $3 million, and which is for Hollywood.
That's
yeah.
Get
Low
Out
budget.
levels.
It's like
Get Out
basically
was
nothing.
$5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So super low budget.
Those micro budget horror movies are so popular. Those Blumhouse.
yeah,
you
it's
know,
Blumhouse.
yeah.
They,
This one, yeah, is Blumhouse too.
They pioneered it.
So it's like really good special effects, some really good gore.
Corman is
and-
spinning in his grave right now.
I don't want to spoil much, but just check it out. It's a revenge thriller, sci-fi, about a man getting a cybernetic upgrade.
I was gonna say getting upgrade.
Yeah.
Do they use the song by Beyonce where she goes upgrade you, grade you?
Does
Absolutely
it have
not.
the
Damn it.
It has
Elyse-
some cool like
Sure, yeah.
soundtrack.
Does it have the Elysium mech suit in it for the upgrade?
There's no mechs,
It's
It's like an
unfortunately.
internal upgrade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's like a brain computer.
it's a revenge movie, so he gets
It's like
injured and
A man
upgraded.
who got laser hair removal.
Right. I'm so smooth.
So is your fear that just the movie that deserves to make money and be seen won't, or are you afraid that this director will not get to a bigger project because this might go unnoticed?
Both, Elyse. I'm glad you asked that because he is in like the shadow of James Wan.
Yeah.
Who, directed Saw.
There can only be one.
There can only be one Wan. To be fair, James Wan really blew up when he did The Conjuring, which Lee was not involved with. But,
Bastard.
Saw and Insidious. But yeah, I looked at the box office numbers and it's made its money back. Like it cost $2 or $3 million to make and it's made like 6 or 7. But
I wanna go
more.
Yeah,
more.
you sold me on.
I want to scoop it up into my eyes.
It's cool.
he,
I mean, it's got some problems, kind of like some inconsistent acting here and there.
Yeah.
But
Is he involved with Aquaman, like James
no,
Wan?
I don't think he is.
So I feel like I'm the only person pumped for Aquaman,
Dude, I'm pumped.
just because of James Wan.
Just because of James Wan, yes. Heck
With
yeah.
Mimosa, what's his name?
Mimosa.
Jason Mimosa.
Yep.
Bottomless mimosa.
Free Mimosa Tuesdays.
There is one last thing, a TV show
Uh-oh.
that I wanted to talk to Elyse about because I don't know if she watches it.
Well,
It's called Unreal.
No, but I've
Okay.
heard so much about it.
I've
It's-
seen that billboard.
Oh, it's
I
so
believe
good.
Jeff Ramsey, Achievement Hunter, was talking about. That's a little name drop.
Nice.
I work with him.
Achievement Hunter hype.
Oh,
But I
Font
believe he
Hans?
likes it a lot.
Nice. He's got good taste.
On Hien.
Guys are crazy. It's basically a spoof on, but very serious drama, not a comedy, but there is some comedy, about The Bachelorette
Yeah.
reality
Oh, okay.
show.
Because it's like the producers working behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, it's got Constance Zimmer and one other woman, I don't know her name, but they're the two leads, and it's so great.
Okay.
They just wrapped season 3, and now I think season 4 is going to be the end.
Oh, okay.
So,
I like a show with an end.
yeah, when they plan it out, when it's
too.
ahead of time for sure.
Yeah.
Like Gotham.
Oh,
10
they're ending
episode.
that?
Yep.
Ah,
Putting the bat
yeah.
in Gotham.
I was watching a show that I'm going to talk about in a minute, but I hope it has an end.
Cool.
We'll get to that. You want to
Yeah.
go?
Yeah, so
Are you done?
I'm done. That's it.
I just watched the new season of Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh.
But it's a fun light show. It has some of the best like comedic reversals in the writing. I'm not talking about plot, but just in when they deliver a joke, a punchline, and you're trying to undermine expectations, flip expectations. It has some of the best, most creative jokes I think in all of
Dang.
like comedy writing. I watched The Chalet recently on Netflix, which you would like then because
Yeah.
it's a like 10 episode limited miniseries just about a group of friends that reconnect in the French countryside. 20 years they were kids there,
Yeah.
and something horrible event happened when they were kids among
Whoa.
the adults.
Whoa.
And now they've reunited there. The adults are older as well. They're now geriatric, so like it's these two generations dealing with whatever this event happened was. Something there's a collapse and then this bridge breaks, so they're all trapped there.
Whoa.
And then shit starts going down. But like
Snowed in.
Dude.
yeah, Edward Snowden.
Edward Snowden.
This sounds
stars
rad.
in The
Yeah.
Chalet.
Sounds so
But
intense.
yeah, that's kind
Sounds
of I
good.
think the only like really interesting thing I've watched lately. I watched the new season of Arrested Development.
I haven't watched 4 or 5.
5 felt like a return to the first 3 seasons in a lot of ways. Yeah, I think it's all good. Who am I to shit on these shows?
I wanted to watch Kimmy Schmidt when I heard that she gets like rescued from a cult or something. I didn't know
So
that
you've
was
never
the
seen
premise.
it?
No.
Or
It's
you-
like step 1.
I saw some billboards recently and I'm like, yeah, I want to get into that. Like, I need a good eating show.
Well, and John,
Casual.
John
you know?
Hamm is the guy that abducted her, and
Oh,
he's
really?
He's incredible. Yeah.
He's like in it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's
Ongoing?
Yeah, he's the guy that trapped these women in a bunker for like
Dude,
20 years.
disturbing.
And his
So
his
weird.
character just escalates out of control,
Oh
and he's
my gosh.
wonderful.
It starts there and escalates out of control?
Well, it starts out with like she just got out of the bunker. They
Right,
they
yeah.
just got these women out, and now she has to assimilate to modern day
Right,
life, and she still has the inner monologue and mentality of like a 13-year-old because that's the age at which she was abducted. But
Dude.
John Hamm is just this. He refuses to accept responsibility. He's basically like Douglas from the IT Crowd too, in a lot of
Sure,
his
yeah,
weird. But
Speak, priest.
And you give it about like 4 episodes, and then you'll say like Titus is one of the best characters on television.
Oh, wow.
Her roommate.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's nothing exciting right now, I'd say.
Is it 20 minutes or an hour?
It's
episode?
30. Yeah,
It's
20 to 30.
Cool.
In terms of movies,
Yeah,
I
you
have
see
tickets to
films?
see Hereditary,
Nice.
which I'm super pumped about.
Oh my
But you don't watch the
goodness.
Spookums.
I don't watch the Spookums.
Oh my goodness.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Dude, that one, that looks like the scariest movie this year.
But it's
That's
made
my
by
Yeah.
the Witch guy? Because I watched The Witch.
And you didn't really like it.
I liked it fine. It was just, it had been hyped so hard that
Yeah.
I was like, all right, it was good. You know?
Yeah. This one looks way scarier than The Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Took me like 5
Unsettling.
years to work up courage to watch The Witch.
Yeah, The Witch isn't too bad.
See you in a decade, Hereditary. I don't know. My problem is I love psychological horror, but I hate jump scares.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know.
It
So-
follows.
Oh man,
Dude.
Oh.
Psychological
no.
horror, but with like 2 of the scariest jump
yeah.
scares.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. I'm like, it's apparently has like, yeah. Well, and like that one, just like it was described to me, and I was like afraid to
Yeah.
walk anywhere. I was like,
It's a messed up movie.
So would you rather watch like a Split?
Yeah, Split's
M. Night
alright.
Shyamalan.
I mean, I didn't like Split, but
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. Ninth Gate. Movie's bad, but I love it.
So with Death,
Stargate.
Stargate.
Stargate's the best gate.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, of all the
For
gates,
sure.
I think Star
let
is
us know in the
best.
comments below your favorite. No comments.
No, there are comments. I just don't want to invite anything involving a phrase that
Keep
ends
it
in
to
gate.
yourself.
Yeah, keep it to yourself.
Spader is the best,
Oh,
James.
yeah.
Without a doubt.
Spader,
Sorry, Elise.
king
No,
of
no
awkward
problem.
sex. It's James Spader.
You know what? Tell that to Gandolfini.
Oh.
Wherever he is.
Yeah.
Um,
Killing Them Softly. That was a good one.
Never saw it.
He was good in it.
You like any other movies?
You see Deadpool?
Oh yeah, I
Nice.
thought. I mean, a lot of people
What
I
about
thought
Deadpool
did not.
2?
That's what I mean. You know what I mean.
It sounded to me like a lot of snobs thought they were too fucking good for Deadpool 2.
Dude, Deadpool 2 was phenomenal.
It's just more of
my
the
question is-
same. It's
right.
fun romp.
It's
Yeah.
like, what did you think you were going to
Yeah.
see?
Yeah.
It's Deadpool 2.
It was delightful.
Yeah.
I
it
had
was funny.
such a good time at that. Like, other than my weird obsession with Pacific Rim Uprising, Deadpool 2
Oh, no.
was like my favorite time at the movies this year so far.
Yeah.
Hubert, I watched Pacific Rim Uprising
no.
recently.
I
never
know.
saw
And
it.
we had a competition. There were like
God.
4 of us watching it. We had a competition to bet on what time the robot or the battle would start. And it was like an hour and 15 minutes into the movie.
There's some small skirmishes though.
You
I
gotta
love
build
those
up
small
with the
skirmishes. Dude, Obsidian Fury in the city, the like giant black mech that has like the rockets and the like
I don't
blade.
Yeah, I guess it was cool.
Oh, it's such a good fight.
Yeah, I guess it was cool.
That movie should have just been fights all the way through because they set it. I mean, if you love it, I don't want to break your
That's what I
spirit.
said about Batman.
It's okay.
Dark Knight Rises.
I've built up the like Pacific Rim Uprising shield, you know, because
Yeah.
I'm the only one that likes it. I feel like so it's like, all right, I'm fine.
I wanted
with that.
to.
He's used to it.
So I don't know.
Did you see Solo?
I can't muster the enthusiasm. I'd rather see Deadpool or Avengers again.
Dude,
I can't
yes.
muster the enthusiasm. Is it good?
I liked it.
It was fine.
I mean, like that, yeah.
Tepid.
Like, it was
Yeah,
fine.
It was fine.
It wasn't
It
like
was fine.
it wasn't offensive
No.
unto mine eyes. But I don't find any of the Star Wars as offensive, so that's just me. But like, I don't know, it was fun.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Definitely, like, I want people to go see it just so they keep pumping out half decent Star Wars movies for like ever. But maybe that's like evil of me. I don't know.
Could it have been a story about a new character created in the Star Wars universe that was not? Could that have been? We're just creating
Yeah.
this cool rogue pilot, like a.
Yeah.
I think it.
And it's not Han Solo.
Oh, do you mean like this story specifically?
Yeah, could
Like,
it have been
instead of calling-
applied?
It leans pretty heavily on like, we're explaining what this thing was. Like, oh, here's Lando. Like,
Yeah.
oh, here's Chewie. You know, like it's pretty much like about that. But if you
Okay.
took out like all of that stuff, like yeah, probably like the overarching story could have been kind of
Woody
anybody. Or yeah, like you know, the Han Solo guy could have been named like Frank Thompson, and like it would have been whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of fun. I don't know. It's like Deadpool 2. It's like, what do you think you're going to see?
Yeah.
Order some popcorn and
Right.
settle in.
And shut up.
I think for me it was that Rogue One was kind of marketed as a like fun heist or like caper sort of, and I was
Which
like,
is not correct.
yeah, and so that sort of. But I'm not.
It's like a fun heist movie where literally everyone dies.
Yeah, I don't really want to walk into this as a naysayer and with a bad attitude about it. I just can't really, now that Hereditary is coming out, that's my priority this weekend.
Yeah.
E3, I'm, not
E3.
killing myself to see it, I guess.
Yeah.
I was the exact same way, Elyse, where it's like, I'm not super against this, but I'm not really enthusiastic about it.
I think
But then,
the box office numbers show that I think that was pretty much everyone's feeling
Yeah.
on Solo.
yeah,
Do you
we
still-
kind of just went.
Do you still go to the movies last thing Sunday night?
Last thing Sunday night, or now Monday afternoon, because I don't have
married
to
now.
be
Married now.
exactly. I don't have to be in the those Defy Media
Don't have
offices,
to be in those Defy Media
Nope.
offices anymore.
Yeah.
so I'm free on
Defiant.
Mondays.
I had to tell someone not to talk during The Quiet Place. Of any movie,
Yeah.
this idiot, these dumbos next to me explaining everything to each other.
Oh,
Like, they've got the box because the baby goes in the box. And I was
my.
like, you don't need to tell each other that. Like, we all get it. We all get
Yeah,
what the box is
yeah.
for. And then eventually I was like, excuse me. Like, could you please be quiet? Could you please make this a
Mortified.
make this a quiet place?
Make this a quiet place.
But I couldn't believe it.
my theater when I saw that, Elyse, was the most respectful. I said this like last time. It was the most
Yeah.
respectful crowd I've ever been a part of. You could hear a pin drop.
You would think that would be innately what it would be. I was shocked.
I think it is my opinion that all movie theaters should be that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if you're coming here to look at your phone and talk to your stupid friends, like, why are you here?
Why are you-
Yeah.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole
of
other
reaction
episode.
Shots.
Oh my
movie
God.
theater etiquette.
Movie theater hate.
I will never forget when you said that you told those kids to sit down and shut up.
It was in Insidious 2, I think.
It was,
It comes
yeah.
full back.
I
Full circle.
remember the tale.
The only reason I got so intense was because these kids came in halfway through the movie.
Right.
So and they were like young teenagers,
Just the worst.
came bumbling and screaming. Like, this is not just some,
Yeah.
date night where they're having like a conversation. This is kids coming in to disrupt.
I remember the way I was
I was
at
like-
that age during theater experiences, and it was the worst. I was a monster. So
I tell people that story. It's not my story. I say someone I know that said, sit down.
Sit down and shut up.
shut up.
The ending of the
And he
story.
took them on. He
Yeah.
took the mob on.
Because, and like I let it slide for like 2 minutes. But it was like, it was loud disruption for 2 minutes,
Yeah.
and like the main plot point was going down.
Right.
Like it was the
Right.
climax of the movie almost, and
Right.
like things were happening. These kids were yelling, and
Yeah.
I told them that to like sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
And then 45 seconds later, they slowly left.
Disgraced. I do that too. Where I give it a minute. I say,
Yeah.
let's see how this is gonna play out.
Yeah.
I just seethe in internal rage, and
That- yeah,
kinda
usually-
like, I do the
That was the only time that I love the story so much. I'm glad you brought it up, so I can like live that Larry David moment, because
Yeah.
I never have the courage now.
Yeah, I never
Now
have the
I just
courage.
like
Aw.
this guy's talking behind me, and well, this movie's ruined.
Yeah. I'm like, well, chalk it up. Yeah. Another failed movie going experience. Real quick, I saw the movie Game Night finally.
was
I had never
great.
seen it.
It's better than it needed
Phenomenal.
to be.
Better than it needed to be. The camera work and editing was like legitimately
Yeah.
pretty inventive and great.
Jesse Plemons stole the show.
Which one is he?
The neighbor. The like.
Oh yes.
yeah.
So good.
love him.
Hilarious. He's so good in that movie.
Stole
Awesome.
the show.
It is a legitimately funny movie.
Yeah.
It, like you said, has no need to be as good as it is. I had a blast with it.
Has a couple nice reversals.
Yeah.
At the end. I saw Blockers, cock blockers
Oh,
or
yeah.
blockers.
John
and that-
Cena.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh,
Have you
'cause
seen
he's
it?
delightful in it. And that movie also funnier than it
Really?
needs to be or
I
maybe
heard it was getting
deserves
good
to be.
reviews.
Yeah, it's worth a watch at home.
You like them both? Like they're pretty even.
Yeah, even Stevens. is on
I gotta watch those.
Just shout out to Legion. Weird as hell, that show.
Still good?
Yeah.
I
well,
haven't watched any of season
it's
2.
still Legion. Like, I didn't like season 1, episode 6, 7, or 8, but season 2 has been like just nonstop. Let's just do this weird tone poem for an hour. Screw it. Like, there's no real plot development half the time. Like, it's just like weird colors and sounds, and the sound mixing is very good.
Slow burn into a slow burn.
Yeah. Slow burn into a slower burn.
Oh my god.
Into a, like, not even burning, just kind of like what if scenario for an entire episode. It's like insanity.
Someone holds up a match,
Legitimate, yeah.
unlit match, and says, maybe.
The potential. And then John Hamm's narration is just like, the potential for burning in this match could be slow.
You're watching Westworld or no?
Haven't picked it back up. I watched 1, 2, and 3.
I haven't watched season 2.
I heard episode 4 is like when it gets good, and I just haven't like had the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I have had the time. I watched an entire series over the last 2 days.
What?
Search Party!
One of my favorite shows.
You've seen it.
I watch
entirety?
it every the last 2 years. I've watched it around December.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of been my like Christmas, right before Christmas show.
I need to talk about this show.
What is this show?
Okay, so
It's a dark comedy.
so dark, I hesitate to even call it a comedy after like episode 8.
Oh, I laugh. And in season 2 I laughed a lot too.
Okay, the ice moment in season 2 made me laugh. Very funny. I need fresh ice. But like, yeah, it's a dark, pitch black dark comedy.
Okay.
But like, to the extent that I got like, it has a tonal shift so intense that I was like, holy crap.
Yes.
It's like Berserk,
And at the-
but a hipster comedy.
At the end of season 1 you should go, what could they possibly do in a second
Right.
season? And then season 2 blows it away. Like,
it's just so.
I am intrigued.
Aaliyah Shawkat.
Is that how you say
Is it Alia or Aaliyah?
Aliyah Shawkat?
I thought it was Shawkat, but maybe I'm wrong.
There's a W in there.
I thought it was
believe.
Shawkat, but maybe it's
That- I
Shawkat.
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 Aliyah Shawkat. I have no idea. We're sorry, Aliyah. But yeah, she's amazing. Her acting is phenomenal. Everyone in the show does
What's
a really
the premise?
good job.
They're looking
the
for
premise
someone?
is they're 4 friends, hipstery friends, and she's got kind of nothing going on in her life, and so she kind of becomes obsessed with finding this missing girl named Chantal.
Who they went to college with.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like no one really knew her.
No, she was just kind of a faint acquaintance.
Right, but like because she
Interesting.
has nothing to hold on to in her
Yeah.
life, really, she kind of just makes this her quest,
Yeah.
and it, kind of to the chagrin of everyone else in her life,
It
and it's sort of
consumes
like
her.
consumes her, and one thing leads to another, and God Almighty, does it lead to another? Like, oh my God! But like,
Whoa.
I think I would describe it like season 2 is like 4 simultaneous Breaking Bads.
Yeah.
Just like all the characters, just this descent. It's like an upsetting show. Also, I was talking about this with my friends. It's a very interesting show because there's basically no redeemable character. Like no one is a good person in this entire reality.
Yeah, they're like Seinfeldian flawed.
But not
you
only
know?
them, like all the ancillary characters are trash
Yeah.
too. Like it's like a reality where everyone sucks, and like
Dude.
but like the weird thing with the show is it's not like oh, these conservative people suck, but we're right. It's like it shows like really shitty liberal people, really shitty conservative people, really shitty just everybody.
Everyone
Yeah.
sucks.
Like to the point where I'm like, what is this show trying to say?
And
Exactly.
The music's phenomenal. You can
Oh,
find
the
the
music,
soundtracks on Google Play Music.
Yeah. Big fan of Google Play Music Unlimited.
Yeah. Get your YouTube Red in there too.
But anyway,
But,
I binged that show by myself in the dark over the last couple of days, and like I am still depressed. God.
Great.
But that's the show I was talking about before, where like I really kind of hope season 3 is just like the end, like the last one.
I don't know where it could. Like
I
couldn't-
want it to stop.
I didn't know where it
Elyse.
could go beyond 1.
Right.
I'm with you. If they wrap it up season 3 and then it's like, that's it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
But
That's how I am with Black Mirror. It's like, give me just one more season.
Well, Black Mirror's an anthology, so
Yeah,
like
I-
it kind of doesn't
Wow.
matter. Well,
Well,
he's
wow.
married now.
he's been free now. Also,
There
The
you go.
Expanse is phenomenal.
wow.
I gotta watch that because now it's getting picked up. Oh,
By
no.
Amazon.
Amazon,
Yeah, yeah.
thanks, Bezos.
Amazon Bezos.
Yeah.
Amazon saved it.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep track of who's saving what.
Yeah. NBC saved Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I've never really seen.
Which makes so much more sense given Mike Schur.
Well, apparently
and
they
his relation-
passed on it first and then like regretted it since or some crazy.
I get because with The Good Place,
Oh,
they
so
with
good.
The Good Place.
When is season 2 gonna be on Netflix?
It is,
It's not.
isn't it?
Well,
No.
do you have Hulu?
I thought it was.
Yeah, but Hulu only had
Deletes
like the
it.
half,
Yeah.
the back half of the season.
You gotta watch it
Season
week to
2
week.
is
Hugh.
great.
What am I paying for, Hulu?
You gotta watch it week to week.
NBC.com lets you watch it.
Really?
Yeah, you have to sit
You
through
know-
some commercials, but it's on there.
After Mike Schur made, he did Parks and Rec, he did Brooklyn Nine-Nine. NBC said make whatever you want with The Good Place. They gave him like a free pass.
So wait, he's the Brooklyn Nine-Nine guy?
Yeah, he's EP on Brooklyn Nine-Nine as
Now
well.
I
Like
gotta watch Brooklyn
all
Nine-Nine.
these great like
I've
workplace
seen some of his
comedies are his. I Brooklyn Nine-Nine's maybe like I could take it or leave it. I think,
okay.
but
I've only seen it
Hot
like in
takes.
Omar's room.
Hot takes, Elyse.
you should have a new show called In Omar's Room,
Where it's just me walking in and like, what are you watching?
it's reviewing what you see passing in the halls.
I'm like, I think it was like, I saw like 2 minutes. I think it was Suits,
I
maybe on USA.
I imagine he is the only person who has a screen door on their bedroom door. Like
Also-
the door might be open, but the screen door is closed.
And then you're like, can I come
You're
in? Like,
gonna-
am I allowed in here? I'm like watching it in the reflection on his phone, like the back of his phone. I'm like, I think it was Jane the Virgin. I don't know.
See what you can piece together.
Yeah, what is he rewatch? He's always rewatching some super old.
Parks and Rec, I think.
He's rewatching Parks and Rec and Sports Night right now. He's never seen Sports Night, but he's watching that.
Okay.
He got through Frasier.
Gotham.
He watched Gotham.
Oh yeah.
Omar watches Powers.
Omar.
Oh my god.
And Omar watches Gotham.
Yeah.
Omar
Anyway,
knows
The
what's
Expanse
up.
is phenomenal. I'm one episode behind right now, but oh my god.
I gotta watch
it. It is a
Yeah.
crazy show. 2 friends of mine are watching it through, and they're like in season 2, and they're like,
Yeah.
they'll like message me like, oh my god, like this thing happened, and I'm like, who? Like
Just-
that feels like 300 years ago.
Just some of the best science fiction on TV.
Yeah. It's the new Anyway, should we talk about Wes Anderson? 3 hours into the podcast. All right. Quickly, here are the films of Wes Anderson in order of release. Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, The Royal Tenenbaums, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, The Darjeeling Limited, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Moonrise Kingdom, Budapest, The Grand Budapest Hotel, and Isle of Dogs. Also, he has a few short films like Hotel Chevalier and, his American Express commercial that I think is really funny. Anyways,
He's an auteur. Like
Auteur.
like a Tarantino.
yeah.
Does it all.
but
Yeah, he
good.
is.
But
Whoa.
hot takes.
Hot take.
Aplenty in this
Jeez.
episode. Wow.
JK. I do miss his editor, though. It's sad.
Yeah.
So Wes Anderson has a very obvious, like, he's like almost a genre unto himself because of his very honed stylistic kind of choice palette. Many of his common traits are centered framing, reoccurring casting and character types, specific attention to color and set design, slow motion, specific kind of music choices, common camera moves like pans, tilts, zooms, tracking shots, miniatures, and a very unique style of dialogue. And his pacing is always kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What other stuff about Wes Anderson like stands out to you?
I mean, you hit the nail on the
I
head.
listed most of them.
And those are broader too. I think you can like unpack those and say more specific stuff. The thing that like I always point to, certainly like his visual style, but there's a lot of like compartmentalization in his sets, in his framing, which I love. Like I used to like building a lot of dioramas when I was a kid, and
that fits.
my dad also made me he also made me a frame for a dollhouse. And rather than like playing with dolls, I would spend most of my time painting and getting little like swatches and stuff and making little things to like put in the rooms rather than having dolls doing anything in them. Like it was
Sure.
the saddest thing.
The dolls are just laying in a heap in the
Yeah,
corner.
it was super sad. But I always liked making little tableaus and vignette scenes and stuff. And I feel like that's what he does. Like you look at like the Life Aquatic ship,
Yeah.
the Royal Tenenbaums house, the Darjeeling Limited train. Like it's all these very controlled, compartmentalized sets and scenes, and that's what he is to me, is like absolute control.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
crave.
Yeah.
I know I love it. It's like
dream.
and he is like a complete visionary in that, where every single detail is controlled and And I just love looking at those. Like I could look at that cross section of the Life Aquatic ship all the time and just like pour over all of it. Same with the Royal Tenenbaums house, and it's always presented in an unconventional way.
Yeah.
Like the way that ship has a like hot tub on the third floor of the ship.
Yeah.
And the Royal Tenenbaums house has like Chaz's like his business in it, and then Richie's like art studio and Margot's like tent, and like it's just no conventional layout would apply in a real life situation to any of these.
Well, in all
these
his
settings.
movies, you're totally right. Like the location,
is a character.
It's a character in the movie too. Yeah, and like I mean, he loves the use of miniatures and like models and stuff, but like it's really cool the interplay between actual models of like the ship or the house or whatever, or the hotel, and then like the real shots of it somehow make the location, even the interiors, feel like a model somehow to me, sort of too.
Yeah.
Like the attention to detail is just so throughout everything.
And I think the fact that like his shots are all very like flat too helps with that, because you don't really have any dynamic angling in his movies. You're not really getting he's not just gonna do like shot reverse and then have it's always like a very centered, symmetrical framing where it's like and you can see everything.
Almost everything is in focus.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't do depth of field, and now that I'm thinking about it, I never really thought about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you might get some interesting like a top down or something like Royal Tenenbaums when Owen Wilson's shouting up at Royal, and I know you asshole, and you might get like a long shot down like that or something, but everything's always very like dead on and centered. Yeah,
it zooms in on him, right?
The quick zooms of Wes Anderson.
He has a way to make his movies feel like fantasies in a way.
Yeah.
You know? It's like grounded in reality, but like you were saying,
it's New York, but it's not New York.
Yeah. He just makes his own worlds, and that's but it's not a movie about that,
Right.
He just like captures that feeling.
Well, Grand Budapest Hotel, which takes place in like 1930s, you'd think it's like Hungary or somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's like a made up
fake place.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
So he's like pulling from, it's like Dubrovnik or something, but he's like pulling from all these real things to make this like weird magical place. I like that a lot too.
Two patron comments fit perfectly with this. Samuel Cardwell used the phrase, there's sort of a mechanical wonder about his films, a delight in artifice, which I really liked. And then Would You Kindly said, he doesn't simply copy elements for nostalgia, but remixes nostalgia, which I thought was a really cool way of phrasing it. I think that fits totally with what you're saying. It's like all these places are real but remixed into like the fantasy version of themselves, mixed in with like a few people mentioned J.D. Salinger or like older like French New Wave kind of stuff. Like it's all it's all part of it, like just kind of like remixed in there, and it's everything, which makes it its own thing. It's very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he lives in France now.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
He's just an interesting individual to me too.
France.
It's weird. Like when you learn like Wes Anderson from like good old Texas boy Wes Anderson, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like
the fact that he's from Texas.
That doesn't ever like equate with me at all.
Yeah.
He went to UT, and
Is that
I guess
where Damiani went?
I
He wears
don't know.
that hat.
Did he?
He
might have, actually.
My understanding of colleges and their sports teams are tenuous at best, but he has that hat with the long horns on it, which I believe is the name of that team.
Let's expose him.
You knew Wes Anderson! Admit it! So another thing that Wes Anderson loves to do in his movies is remind you that you're watching a movie. I think that's a common thread throughout, like with chapter headings, with zooms and obvious camera moves. Titles on the screen, people looking into the camera, narration, all these kinds of techniques that are like, in theory, could break you out could ruin your immersion, but in his movies they don't. Why do you think that is? Is it just like because it matches the whimsy?
The tone of it all, maybe.
I do. I think like even like in Royal Tenenbaums, where he has like the itinerary, the chapter headings.
Yeah.
And isn't it? how is it done? Is it done? It's like the invitation, or what
on
is
Royal
it?
Tenenbaums?
Yeah.
It starts on the book, and then it might be little cards.
Because it's like those are
been a
even
while
like
since I-
artifacts of so it's not just
Right.
like a title card
Right.
goes up,
They're
but it's something
things from-
stylized that he's made. I think like that keeps you in it too. I always love like little inserts in his movies too, like Life Aquatic with the letter, the dictated but not read
Yeah.
letter that like those.
Or like
it's
Bob
also-
Balaban in giving you like geographical information
Yeah.
in Moonrise Kingdom.
Bob
It's so good. I love
Balaban.
Bob
And he's standing
Balaban.
there,
dude.
and he's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like any other director would have to have like some action happening
right.
while that context is being delivered, that exposition is being delivered. But Wes Anderson, his shot's so beautifully composed. He's got Bob Balaban doing
Yeah.
his like great shtick that like he gets away with it.
And to me, like, I mean, not to just like suddenly throw shade on another thing, but like, I didn't like the movie Y Tu Mama Tambien really because it did a similar thing where a narrator would just suddenly pop
Never
up
saw it.
and tell you some like sad shit about some dude, and it's like, okay, cool, you know. For me, it didn't land. Whereas here with like Bob Balaban or whatever, because it matches the tone and feeling and like the mise en scène and everything is similar enough, like. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's breaking away from the narrative. It feels like it's bolstering the narrative,
Yeah.
enhancing the narrative
It's
instead
like
of just
giving
like a pointless
nuance
aside.
to
Yeah,
it.
it's a nuance instead of just like, hey, we're cool in indie. Well,
Yeah.
Does he write all of his movies?
Yeah.
Every single one?
he has co-authors for a lot of like
For
what
co-
Yeah.
Owen Wilson or whoever will like
Jason
write some-
Schwartzman or
Cool.
who's his other guy?
Owen
Is
Wilson
Noah-
has written a
didn't-
lot of like Royal
Noah
Tenenbaums and stuff.
Baumbach?
I wonder.
Um,
But yeah, he has collaborators, but he's always
Yeah.
like,
Writing credit.
yeah, he's always
Yeah,
in there.
he's
I believe for all of them.
doing every I don't think there's any movie he's done that he didn't principally write.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is a
Oh,
adaptation of Roald Dahl,
Yeah.
but I think he penned the screenplay. I believe.
I always try to buy all of his like scripts, like that you can buy the bound script on Amazon or whatever for
Yeah.
Notes in the
$15.
margin and-
No, it's just like they printed it, but
Oh, okay.
I'm always curious because like if you go and read one of those, you're like, oh my god, this script is so identical to how it plays
Right.
out in the movie, which like I don't know if that's the shooting script that they're selling or they're
Right.
going back and like creating.
I think I've heard that before that his scripts are like meticulous.
Yeah,
Total
that's-
control.
Well, total control. Also because he's writing it for himself, in a big way. Like obviously for the crew and everything else too, but like he doesn't have. Yeah, he's got total control, and he's writing it in a way where it's like I know exactly what we're gonna do, and I'm just gonna write it. You know. Whereas like when you're screenwriting, like for you don't know who,
Yeah.
you kind of have to be like. Because you can't say, like, now the camera does this, because, like, people don't like that. But you have to, like, kind of say that without saying it to, like, trick people into
Yeah.
doing what you want. You know?
As the camera goes down, we
I think-
see the...
You have to
Yeah.
be like, you have to be like, we see him at a distance.
Yeah.
He seems small, like,
Yeah.
you know, and frail, and surrounded by so much turmoil or whatever.
and the thing is
we
like
push in on his eyes, or, whatever. Like,
he's directing it. He could get away with putting camera movements
Right.
in his script. It's his script. He's going to direct it, whatever. But he still does it in a way that is like poetry, and
Yeah.
it flows. I always love when directors, it's like, well, there was that character drawing in this movie, but that was actually James Cameron drawing Rose and Titanic.
Right.
And I love
Yeah,
like
yeah.
because he does a lot of that, like. In Bottle Rocket, when Dignam's doing his like 5-year to 25-year plan,
right.
and
That's
it's
the
like
one I
going
haven't
over.
seen. That's the only one I haven't seen.
Well, that it's all like Wes Anderson writing
Oh,
out
okay,
this
yeah.
plan, which is a dumb fucking plan. It's so good.
Yeah.
But
I really want to see that one. I just haven't found a good
I
way
think
to see
like the
it.
little drawings are his, maybe in Royal Tenenbaums. I don't know.
He failed to develop as a painter.
Yeah, those might be
Um,
him.
I mean, you mentioned plans and stuff, and I think that, I mean, obviously, Wes Anderson is one of the more meticulous filmmakers working today. Sort of like a whimsical hipster Kubrick or something, but like,
Shades of Kubrick when you were
Yeah.
talking
The
about just
symmetry.
the framing.
Yeah.
and,
Oh, yeah,
how
absolutely.
tight everything is.
it's like, yeah.
Did he have a background in photography?
I imagine he studied film. I didn't like read his biography.
I think he did film at UT, I think.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what I know UT is big for film, and I'm assuming if he went there, that's what he did.
But I mean, it's funny that it's another thing where his style is so interesting because just the way he is comes through in so many of his, like, not just in the way that he makes the movies, but the stories themselves as well. Like, you mentioned plans, like, that's a common thread throughout a lot of his movies is, like, people planning things, saying what the plan is, showing you literal plans.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah,
when they're
just singing that.
Fantastic
Yeah.
Mr. Fox, the game, the dumb, like, ball game the kids are playing, and they're, like, explaining how you do it.
Yeah. It's like, I love it.
But it's always done in like you in any other situation that would just be pure exposition.
Right.
But he always does it in like an interesting, funny way.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, with his movies, a cynic could look at them and say, could try, I think, to look at them and say, like, all of this is wasted time, like, showing this, doing this in slow motion, whatever. But, like, I think that that argument falls apart for most of his movies because, like, they're so well-paced and everything seems to be there for a reason. Even if it is just a mood, like, nothing to me seems overly wasted. And I mean, I do acknowledge that Wes Anderson, I think, is one of those filmmakers where it's either like you're kind of in or you're not.
Oh yeah.
Like
Totally.
either you're like
Totally.
either you're like here for it, you're okay with being like a hipster for a hot second and watching these movies, or you're just like, I hate all this, and it's like, fine, whatever, like go
It's
for
like David
it.
Lynch, you know. Some
Yeah,
people
sure.
just don't care for that.
Yeah, you don't want to
Weird
watch a guy
style.
sweep a floor for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think sometimes people see something like really stylized like that, and they think, oh, this is a new filmmaker who's just copying all the filmmakers that he loves. But then they think and they can't actually point to what
Right.
they're like. I think he has, like you said earlier, he has created a new genre and style unto himself, and he may do stuff that like feels reminiscent of certain filmmakers, but I don't think anything he ever does is trite or cliched. He's developed cliches for himself, or
Right.
like everybody says daddy
self-parodying almost.
issues.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, everyone goes, oh, he loves dads.
Yeah.
And he hates dogs.
Right.
You know,
Their dog dies in almost every one of his movies, I think.
but that's just him, I
Yeah.
guess, right? You know, and family is a big thing for him.
Yeah.
But I think it's only noticeable. Some people might say, well, it's noticeable because he does it bad. I think it's noticeable because he does it so well.
Yeah.
But
Kind of that made me think of this just right this second. Like, he is his own genre, and sometimes people try to imitate that. They like we're entering like a revisionist period of Wes Anderson's style, and I think that people meet it with varying degrees of success. I don't think anyone has pulled off like a straight up like Wes Anderson like ripoff, because I don't know if anyone's really interested in doing that. But like things that come to mind, the Amazon series Patriot, which I love. Terrible title, but I love the show so much. You would love it.
what is it about?
It's basically the way Omar pitched it to me.
Omar, dude.
No, seriously, Omar pitched it to
Legend.
me like 4 times, and I'm like, dude, it's called Patriot. I'm not watching
Yeah.
this shit.
See, for me, I'm immediately
Right,
like,
right,
it sounds
right.
like
Patriot.
it's-
And then like literally one time I came home and something was on the projector, and so I just I sit down and I start watching it, waiting for it to end, you know, so I could do whatever. And then like turns out it was like very much toward the beginning of the episode, and I just watched the whole thing with him. And at the very end, I'm like, dude, this is really good. What is this? And he just goes, fucking Patriot. And I'm like,
And he slammed the screen door.
yeah, he slammed the screen door and he went into his room. And he had a pout. No, but I was like, oh my God. Like, it's so good. And then he described it to me. He's like, yeah, it's like Coen Brothers meets Wes Anderson doing a spy
Okay.
thriller.
I'll watch it.
And I
Not
was like,
because
holy
Omar
crap.
told me to.
That is an
Right,
insane
yeah. Watch it
premise.
because you want to.
You told me. I'll go
Yeah.
to Omar. I'll go, Ian told me about the show. You should watch it.
Yeah, you should watch it. Do that. He would get so mad.
I felt
But,
like, remember Mordecai, the Johnny Depp movie?
Yeah.
Never saw it, but from everything I saw, it looked like it was someone trying to do a Kano
Yeah.
Wes Anderson.
And failing spectacularly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Patriot. Check it out, Amazon. He's a very depressed spy who doesn't really want to be a spy. Who
Does he
sometimes,
drink?
I don't. Yes, yeah. Not to excess, I don't think. But he sings folk. His vice is singing folk songs that have a little too much private information in them.
Oh.
Like state secrets sometimes become the lyrics. It's pretty amazing. I love
really
that
cute.
show truly. And season 2 supposedly coming out. Most of it takes place in Luxembourg, which is a very cool place that I didn't know anything about. There's this detective woman who's just fantastic. Anyway, I forgot what we were talking about, but like aping the Wes style. Can you think of anyone else who's trying to do it?
I've been
really?
trying. I can't really.
Yeah, I can't really think of anybody.
I feel like there's something that I was watching recently that had like tones of it, but
I feel like you get it in TV more often than in other movies. I think like stuff like Pushing Daisies, to some extent, Good Place has sort of that kind of color palette, like very saturated. I'm not. That's not to say that I think they're aping his style, because I don't think they are. But like, I think that his influence is definitely seen in various places in various ways. I want to play a little game, real quick.
I love games.
Yeah, you might not love this one because I think you've not seen every single one of his movies.
About half.
Okay, so of the ones you've seen, I'm interested how you would rank them.
Ooh.
Kill your babies, Elyse. Do it.
No, it's
Do
so
it.
hard.
I know. Well, and like it's a common problem that you run into with stuff like this, where it's like you're ranking a bunch of 10s and trying to decide which one's better.
Some like resonate with me on like World Tenenbaums. Okay, so World Tenenbaums is my number one.
Sure.
But that's because I kind of I had seen Rushmore with like in like 99 or 2000 or whatever with my best friend back home, and we were like, this is great.
Yeah.
But then I watched Royal Tenenbaums when it was like you could rent it on whatever
VHS.
and I was like, oh my gosh, like this movie is like a work of art. Like this is so meticulously pieced together, and it's kind of like become a movie where like if I feel down or something, I put that on and it's just comforting. I don't know if it's like his best. I think Grand Budapest Hotel might be his best movie.
I agree. I think it's his culmination.
I think I maybe can you scroll to the list?
Grand Budapest.
I was gonna
so good.
And then the first time I saw Darjeeling Limited, I was like, I don't like this movie. And then I watched it again and again. And I think I might like Moonrise Kingdom the least.
Whoa.
Yeah, that actually is more common than you might think.
Everybody seemed like they were super into it.
Yeah, I think the thing with Moonrise Kingdom is it's like an 8 amongst a bunch of like 9s and 10s, and so like out of his 9 movies, it's like 8th, which puts it as like a B.
Than Darjeeling.
I think I would place it well, I actually have my list, so I could look, but yeah, I can't remember where I put it.
Give us your list.
All right, we'll say my list here.
Because then I might.
Starting from the bottom, I have not seen Bottle Rocket, so I didn't rank that. My 8th is Fantastic Mr. Fox. It didn't land for me. I don't know. I only saw it once, but whatever. 7th was Darjeeling Limited. I've only seen it once or twice. My sister loves it. I like the setting, the location, the characters, all that. I don't know. Moonrise Kingdom is 6th. Rushmore is 5th. And this is where we get into like
10,
from
10, 10,
like
10,
here
10.
up. It's like they're all fantastic.
Yeah.
Isle of Dogs, I have it 4th, though I really loved it. We'll talk about Isle of Dogs in a minute. For me, 2 and 3 are like tied. They like switch with each other. Life Aquatic or Royal Tenenbaums, I really don't know 3 or 4 or 3 or 2 which is which. I love Life Aquatic. I love it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's well made. A lot of people hate it, and I'm like, you're crazy. That movie is fantastic.
I love it.
After I saw it, I immediately like went to try to figure out how to make my own Zisu's shoes.
Oh,
I there was like a period of time after I like went to see it that I was like, how can I affordably make these?
They sold them for a hot minute.
I think,
but they were
Does
like
Omar have a pick?
maybe not in Canada or something.
I don't think so.
But
Omar's just a Nike guy.
I always forget.
Mostly. And then obviously my number 1 is Grand Budapest. I just think Grand Budapest,
it's a great film.
it's like, to me, I don't know, some people didn't like resonate with the characters or whatever, but like to me, I think it just it checks every box for me. Like the way it looks and sounds and feels and the story and the characters, I just loved it.
I guess mine's gonna be more emotionally rated as compared to like what I think is the best quality of cinema, like what I would watch more.
Sure.
Say Royal Tenenbaums #1, 2 Life Aquatic, 3 Grand Budapest, 4 Life Isle of Dogs, 5 Darjeeling Limited, 6 Rushmore, 7 Fantastic Mr. Fox. 8. Bottle Rock. I forgot. Oh, Bottle Rock.
Baby bottle rockin'.
Shit.
Baby bottle pop.
8 Bottle Rocket. 9 Moonrise Kingdom.
Okay.
I think.
Nice.
That actually seems
I don't
seems to
know.
make sense to me.
It's tough.
It is tough.
I don't know. It's hard. It's like ranking. Yeah. Again, like
It's like ranking Kubrick movies. It's
Right.
like, don't make me do it.
yeah.
I'm not-
Barry Lyndon probably at the bottom.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. That's the one I haven't seen.
Oh no, he's
Every
gonna-
time I've wanted to watch it, someone's like, "It's like 3 hours long," and I'm like, "Okay."
Sunday afternoon movie.
Yeah.
When you have nothing to do.
Like Das Boot.
You have like lunch and you throw it on. Sun is
Throw on
shining.
the BL.
Yeah.
Dude.
Roll up in that BL.
So, what's your favorite of what you've seen?
Yeah, which
then?
one's
Grand Budapest.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
And then Life Aquatic.
yeah, I love
Like
it.
top 2.
Assault on Ping Island. Lightning Strike. Such a good song.
And then
Yeah. Wait, no.
that is the best song.
Oh, it's so good. And I love that song because it starts Mark Mothersbaugh, of course,
Oh,
from
God.
Devo, but it starts electronic and then goes orchestral, but
Yeah.
the same orchestration. I love it. Oh god,
What's
it's
going
so
in,
good.
and then it's the wide of them running
Yeah.
with their guns.
And then yeah,
It was
swamp
great.
leeches.
Anybody else get hit?
Anybody else get hit?
Just me?
I'm the only one. What's going on?
Swamp leeches.
What's going on? So many good lines like that. Anyway, sorry.
Bad Cody.
Bad. What's the dog's name?
Cody.
Cody? He just makes it up. Anyway.
It's so good. Third would be Rushmore, but I haven't seen it in a really long time.
yeah.
I loved that movie growing
very
up. It's like my
funny.
childhood.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I feel like there are pockets of Rushmore or Wes Anderson, you see what he's going to become.
Yeah.
When he's can completely control. And then there are other parts where you see for budget reasons,
Right.
he can't have full control over the style.
Right.
And that's where Rushmore gets like
Yeah.
taken down for
Origins.
Or
Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson Origins. Then Moonrise Kingdom. I like it.
yeah.
But I
like
haven't
it.
seen it. I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
But I remember really liking it.
My favorite line in that movie is when the dog gets hit by the arrow, and then she goes, "Was he a good dog?" And then
Yeah.
the kid just goes, "Who's to say?" And then they just leave.
And then Fantastic Mr. Fox, and then Darjeeling Limited.
Cool.
I don't really care for Darjeeling.
Yeah.
It-
Okay.
Did
Yeah,
you
I had
see
to
Isle
watch
of Dogs?
Haven't seen Isle of Dogs.
You saw Isle of Dogs.
Of course.
I
Came out
loved it.
Bad time. I think it came out when like God of War was
You were
out.
yeah.
it
You were
did,
reviewing,
yeah, it was
you
like,
were reviewing stuff. So you were
No.
reviewing, so you were busy with something. I remember. You were like, "I want
God
to
of
see
War
it."
was
but I'm busy.
April. Maybe it was something else.
It was something. But yeah.
But yeah, haven't seen Royal Tenenbaums. And I was gonna watch it. I had this all planned out because I knew Elyse was gonna be on, and I
no.
was like, dude, I remember talking to her so many times about Royal Tenenbaums because it's like her favorite
But
movie.
I'm so excited for you that you get to experience
First
it.
time viewing.
And maybe you'll hate it, but
No.
Origin
Do you want to know
story.
why?
What?
Gene Hackman.
Gene
Gene Hackman.
Legend.
Wes Anderson was scared of him.
Who
You guys
is
know that
it?
story?
That's
Who
correct.
isn't?
Everyone should be scared of him.
Well, the story goes that Gene Hackman just treated Wes Anderson like garbage on that set.
Really?
And so Bill Murray would come to set even on his days off to like stand up for Wes Anderson and to kind of keep
like
an
run
eye.
interference.
He'd keep an
gosh.
eye. There's one story where Wes Anderson's like, yeah, I was there, and I look up on the hill, and there's Bill Murray just standing there with his arms crossed because he's watching to make sure Gene Hackman is not being mean to Wes. Anderson.
Wait, who is saying that?
Well, Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson?
Yeah, he's Bill Murray's like making sure Gene Hackman, because I guess Gene Hackman known for being a little bit volatile.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Intense
a little bit of a
dude.
timbre, if you will.
Yeah, Jeffrey Tambor. Yeah.
But it's a verb now. But
Oh yeah,
adjective. But
tambourine all over the set.
tambourine
Hackman
man.
Tambourine.
But I love that. Like he's like, yeah, Bill wasn't supposed to be on set that day, but he came just to protect Wes Anderson.
That is so funny.
Bill Murray's a sweetheart.
Gene Hackman, yeah, he is. I mean, he is perfect. Like
He's intense.
Perfect as Royal Tenenbaum.
like
yeah.
Wes Anderson wrote that part for Gene Hackman.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
and that's why like even as garbage as he treated him,
Hey man, you
Gene
gotta
Hackman.
be afraid of Gene Hackman for your art sometimes.
yeah.
God, as I know well. Speaking of origin stories, actually, Elyse and I became fast friends because of Royal Tenenbaums.
No way.
I can't remember
It's
who.
true.
Oh, I said, kind of apropos of nothing. We were
Uh-huh.
working at Gametrailers, and I just went, "What this book presupposes is," and then she.
And
just
I
went,
walked by and I went, that maybe he didn't.
Yeah. And then I was like, immediately like fell in love with Elyse.
Yeah.
We were like,
Yes.
we should be friends.
Yeah.
It was like
I said
this,
like I knew we should be friends.
it was like the Step Brothers moment of like, do we just become best friends? I
Yeah,
spit everywhere
yeah.
just now.
I think we literally said like we're friends now.
Yeah.
Like, to each
And
other.
then we went to
funny.
HR,
Yeah.
and we were like, put it down.
Put it down.
Friends.
Put it down there, right there.
We don't want any trouble.
We don't want any trouble. But anyway, so
And then
Wes
we took the
Anderson-
day. We said,
Yeah.
take the day.
We took the day, went over to the water garden,
Yeah.
ate $15 salads until we puked. Cranberries all over the ducks.
Those $15 salads, dude. With Falcon Man.
They were only $15 because you guys were loading them up.
Yeah,
Yo.
load them up.
When you're presented with a smorgasbord of cranberries, and they pay by weight.
Yeah.
Cranberries and chicken are heavy, and strawberries.
So, de-seed these cherries.
And walnuts.
So they're adding weight.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever guess the weight?
I got real close one time.
If you're listening
Me
at
too.
home, this place we would go eat, if you could guess what the weight of your food
On
would be
only on Fridays. Yeah.
you could get it for free.
Yeah. If you guessed your salad, you got it for free. I think like one person,
Bobby Burns would always get it.
Bobby Burns. Yeah, he was
Because
really
he
good.
would do the exact...
You get the exact same thing. That you have to
Exactly.
measure it out.
He also can weigh a woman against a duck and know if she's a witch.
Yeah.
So
He's great at that. Most of
Monty
them are
Python.
witches, turns out.
that's Monty Python reference.
Tokyo Slim also likes Grand Budapest Hotel. Yeah. As Huber would say, it's a culmination of all of his experience in both filmmaking and storytelling. Kiraz likes Grand Budapest, and the phrase that they used I really liked. The movie is so giddy with what it has to show, it just pulls you along, assuring you the whole time it'll be the most amazing thing you ever see.
I love that.
Just like, because they went on to
That's
say,
so
like, they were
great.
using, like, Eeyore Jones as an example, but, like, just, like, grabbing you by the arm and being like, come check this out.
Yeah.
Like, Grand Budapest does that.
Totally.
The whole movie is just like,
That is a great analysis. I really like that a lot.
we sort of hit on this a second ago, but I wanted to talk about how his style has evolved
Oh yeah.
over the years because, like you were saying, in Rushmore you do get glimpses of that, and then all the way up through Grand Budapest, and in certain ways Isle of Dogs, it does it's like peak Anderson, yeah.
Especially with the stop motion, because that's a completely built up set
Total
from the
control,
ground, so
yeah.
it's total control.
Yeah, and it's funny because with the stop motion ones, I remember them talking about this with Fantastic Mr. Fox, where it's like those movies take so long. Like he's doing other stuff and then like calling in or like Skyping
Is
in or
it his
whatever.
like passion? Does he just love?
I think he just
stop
likes
mo-
it, yeah.
Like, because I mean, you were talking about Life Aquatic, and just his sets and everything.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, there's that stop motion ski chase in Grand Budapest.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I forgot about that.
It's cool.
Would You Kindly says they've become more his fantasy world and less real life adapted world with budget and saturation increased, which is the obvious result of creative control.
Yeah, I think also like faith, from a studio
Yeah.
or to say like, okay, yeah, it's
Go
in your
for it.
hands. Yeah.
Not many people
Not-
have that kind of power.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think Wes Anderson gets to kind of do whatever he wants, and so far it's paid off.
Hopefully Guillermo is like that for his next movie.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
of Shape of Water.
I would love it if Guillermo finally got to do At the Mountains of Madness.
Please.
Oh my god.
TV show.
Sure.
His own.
Sure.
Written and directed.
So
every episode.
Are you a Troll Hunters man then?
I'm on season 1 still.
Oh.
Wait, the cartoon?
Yeah, that's
Is that
GDT.
good? What is that?
Yeah.
That's Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah.
What?
Based on
Qu'est-ce que
the
c'est?
book.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Yeah.
I only watched the first
Yeah.
episode.
It gets good. But they're on like season 3 now.
It gets good.
It gets better.
I mean, I drive by that billboard all the time.
Yeah.
In LA, we have
I'm way
billboards for
behind.
everything. Even Troll Hunters. Arctic.
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
It's weird
But
because then you.
he only directs like 1 or 2. Or,
Ah.
yeah. So.
It's weird when you like leave LA and you go home and you're like, where is that condom billboard? Like, how come there are nobody's telling me that I shouldn't have STDs?
Yeah.
On a
There's so many
Yeah.
of those.
There are no billboards to tell me that syphilis is a big deal.
Syphilis bill. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's syphilis billboards everywhere. I'm like,
God.
what is this, 1912?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? Are we at the Nick right
Yeah.
now? Like, what's going on?
Polio ad at the gas station.
Yeah.
What?
What? Hepatitis C. There's one desk or bench billboard that just says Hep C is curable! Exclamation point.
No other
Like,
information.
Thanks. Yeah. It's just like, great. Okay.
Cure it all.
I'll get that looked at.
FYI.
Yeah. Hey, did you know? Syphilis, big deal. Hep C, curable. Syphilis also curable, I think. You
Yeah.
just gotta catch it before
Wes-
it makes you crazy.
Wes Anderson doesn't touch
Have
that
syphilis?
sort of. Well, no, he doesn't go to the bottom dwelling humor of STDs.
No.
High
Never.
art.
Never
High
the
art.
easy.
Intellectual comedy.
Is disease ever? Oh well, in Royal Tenenbaums, he's like pretending to have cancer,
Pretending to have cancer, I would say that Chaz obviously has
anxiety, and
anxiety.
bipolar.
He's PTSD. Maybe his wife's death. He's
Sure,
dealing,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
dealing with that. Richie, depression.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, nobody's got syphilis though in a Wes Anderson movie.
no, nobody gets the
Yeah.
cheap.
But
So
dogs
far,
die.
dogs die left and right. Usually by arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arrow to the side.
Yeah, the second you see a bow and arrow, you're like, oh, some dog's gonna
Yeah.
die. Watch out.
Do you think there's some kind of like story there where like he was hunting or like somebody made him hunt?
Accidentally killed it up.
Like you're gonna shoot the dog with a bow.
Or like as
like
a
his
child,
dad made him hunt or something.
as a child, he like accidentally killed a dog and no
Yeah.
one knows about it, and he's just been trying to tell us for years. I don't know. My guess is he's got a fine family and he loves dogs.
Totally.
Oh yeah. I mean, it wasn't that him saying like my grandest gesture is calling my movie "I Love Dogs."
Right.
Just to kind of thwart that perception.
Which was something that I didn't realize until like
Me
a few days
too.
later. Someone was like, if you say it fast, it's I love
Love
dogs. And then I was just like,
Me too.
I was like, what?
The sad thing
stuff
is
like
like
that.
you can't translate that to other languages. It
Yeah.
only works in English, I guess. But
part of the cultural appropriation of that movie. A lot of
Yeah.
people got upset about that, and I
They
watched
did.
it. I watched it knowing that, and obviously, like, I'm a white person, not really my place to say anything, but like, I don't know. It seemed like the movie, like, it says right in the beginning, it's like, dog's speech, they're barking. It's been rendered in English, but they don't speak English or anything else besides what a dog would understand.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know.
the young boy was a Japanese actor.
All of them were
Yeah.
Japanese. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I
all
did,
the dogs were white men, which is like whatever, but yeah,
Something
think.
I read that was really cool was the sushi making scene. Mm-hmm. Someone was like, "Holy shit! Like that was super accurate."
Yeah.
Which is crazy for just like a stop motion.
Yeah.
Sick.
Like that's the
Sushi.
thing. Like Wes Anderson's attention to detail, like, is so extreme that like I think he wouldn't. I don't know. I think it was a love letter.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It, again, like it's not really my place, but
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's not my
tear
place.
these Japanese a new one.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
writing
the
it.
Japanese hate dogs, and I love dogs.
I'll make it in my movie.
I feel like he hasn't, that I know of, done any like offensive things. Like he's earned enough goodwill over the years to kind of like
Yeah.
give him the benefit of the doubt
His
when it
movies,
comes to things like this.
His movies are very white,
They are, yeah.
like real white. Like Danny Glover is like, and Pagoda.
Pagoda. I mean, Zero, Grand Budapest.
Yeah,
and
like you can like basically like delineate the people of color on one hand.
Who's the actor? This is in
Sue
Darjeeling
George
Limited.
is in
in Life Aquatic, but then also he's in Life Aquatic. He's Vikram in Life Aquatic, and then in Darjeeling Limited, he's the train conductor.
And in Life Aquatic, he's
Vikram.
Yeah, the camera guy.
Yeah,
I don't know his name.
Vikram.
That's the actor's name too?
No.
Oh.
I don't remember the actor's name.
Yeah, I don't know the actor's name.
My favorite things from Life Aquatic. We're all a bunch of misfits. Waldarsky used to be bus driver.
Yeah.
Hans was a school teacher. Like, there's.
What's your favorite use of a song in a Wes Anderson movie?
You nailed it with Life Aquatic.
The Sue George.
I just really like that song.
Yeah, all the Bowie in that is very good.
That whole like soundtrack of Sue George doing Bowie.
Yeah.
It's just a great mellow, chill thing.
I love it.
For me, it's really, really, really tough for me because I listen to those, like, after I got married and I walked down the aisle.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't know if that was too.
Well, I walked we walked out to Queen Bitch because at the end of Life Aquatic when they're walking down the pier, and we were like, that would be kind of cool, but like honestly, like, oh god.
Also, James is Queen Bitch.
He is a Queen Bitch.
Yeah.
World Tenenbaums just has such good, like, Needle in the Hay, Elliott Smith.
That's one of mine, yeah.
Ruby Tuesday in that, and when she gets off the green line and the I've been out walking
the Nico,
these
whatever.
days.
Yeah.
These days.
Fucking Nico. Like, come on.
Like, there's, oh man, and then any Mark Mothersbaugh.
Oh, I mean, Ping Island Lightning Strike is out of control. The zombies, If I Try to hide the way I feel inside. That one is really good.
Yeah, he's really good.
It's just fantastic.
Like, Grand Budapest, I guess because of the fact that it was more of a period piece, had a little bit more, like, instrumental and stuff. It's still really great.
Yeah.
It's
like
so
the song that plays during the, like, skiing.
Out of control.
Yeah.
Are there any moments, switching gears before we do our favorite moments, are there any moments in his movies that don't quite land for you? Can you think of any? I can't really.
In Fantastic Mr. Maybe it's just because it's a little bit more childlike, but in Fantastic Mr. Fox, the Boggs Bunsen Bean or whatever song. Isn't there a little song or something? Maybe there isn't. Maybe I'm just
I like blocked most of that movie, I think, from my mind.
I'm imagining it, but I feel like there was like a little song and I just kind of was like, I'm not here for this.
Yeah.
All of Darjeeling Limited.
Oh no.
I did not enjoy it. I was so bored. I saw it at a bad time. When did that movie come out? What year?
That was
2007.
Oh.
Okay. I was like just out of high school going to community college. I was in a bitter place.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I probably went in expecting to just be pissed.
Right.
And I was.
I mean, it's definitely one of his more melancholic movies, kind of. Like, it resolves in sort of just like a, well, there you go kind of way, if I recall.
Yeah. When I watched it the first time, I was like, man, is this the end of my, like, continued love affair with Wes Anderson? But then I watched it again and again, and I was like, I actually do like this a lot. And Angelica Houston had cut her hair, too.
Yeah,
so you were like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that movie grows on you. I mean, for me, Royal Tenenbaums, even the first time I saw it, I was just like, what's going on?
It's so different.
Yeah, and I was just like, like, I'm kind of sad right now. Like, what's happening? And then the second time I saw it, I'm like, oh, no, this is fantastic.
Nice.
Same with, like, Big Lebowski. First time I saw it, I was like, I didn't, like, get the humor exactly, but now it's like, I think it's one of the best comedies ever made, and I could watch it 1,000 times.
It's not a bad moment. It's just hard to watch, so I always skip it. But when Owen Wilson dies in Life Aquatic,
it's
I just always skip it.
It's very intense.
Yeah. Kingsley.
His movies they usually take that, like, late second act turn, or like maybe even third.
The serious gut
act.
punch.
Yeah, just like haha,
gotcha.
Character dies. Yeah.
And I know that the kids in Moonrise Kingdom were very charming, but I just still was always found it more compelling when the other actors were on screen.
I think that those kids did a great job, but yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, and I think it's part of it, kind of like, not ennui, but like the sort of just like the adult knowledge of, like, you're like 13. This isn't gonna last. So it like makes the stakes kind of like weird in that movie, which I think might be like part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's a Wes Anderson thing. So like, hey, maybe in that reality, like they do just end up forever. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you compare stakes to like Grand Budapest Hotel, where they're like checking his papers
Right.
on the
Yeah.
train.
And like people are getting shot.
Yeah, and Ray Fiennes is saying like, "That's my lobby boy."
Yeah.
Like and there's that big emotional punch
Yeah.
at the end. It's like,
And the way that they diffuse that, like,
yeah,
by, like, when it cuts back to real life and he's like, well, what happened? And then the other guy's just like, well, I mean, I don't want to say it, but, like, I'm just like, Jesus.
yeah,
Oh, God.
yeah.
Great.
It's how I don't know how you, yeah.
All right. Enough naysaying. What about a favorite moment? Can you think of, I mean, like,
Oh my
it's impossible to pick one. Some patrons to get the juices flowing. Morgan Mahala brought up Willem Dafoe's misunderstanding in Life Aquatic when he like
Oh my
crosses the
God.
line to quit,
Oh my
but he
God.
thinks he's not
Yeah.
quitting.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, wait, do over. I
Yeah.
misunderstood. I also love in that movie when he goes, thanks for not picking me. And he
yeah.
goes, you might not be on you might be in the B squad,
But
but
you're
you're
the leader
the
of
B
B
squad
squad.
leader. Yeah. And he's like,
I like her hairdo.
Yeah.
But Steve called her first.
call her first.
Yeah, there's so many like
Boom Dafoe's so good.
there's so many good moments. There are too many good moments to
There are
go
too many good moments.
over.
Basically all of them. Yeah.
I'm trying
like-
to think of
I'm trying to think of like one per movie.
Grand Budapest.
I can't wait to watch Isle of Dogs again
Yeah, me too.
to cement more of those great moments.
Grand Budapest, when someone calls him like straight or something, and then he
Oh,
goes,
yeah.
"No one's ever accused me of that
Yeah.
before." I was like, that's really funny.
I love the reading of the will in Grand Budapest, because they're Adrian Brody and his crew is just so like motley,
Yeah.
and they're so like over the top,
Yeah,
in,
it's like
their,
that whole family.
and they're all glaring,
yeah,
and like
weird eyebrows.
Boy with Apple.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
obsessed with Boy with Apple.
Yeah, Boy with Apple is a great,
Such a
like,
funny painting.
yeah,
Boy with
God,
Apple.
they're just
It's great.
there are
It's-
like
yeah,
just,
whatever.
I do really like in Darjeeling Limited the flashback when their father they flash back to when they're picking up their father's car, that he's dead, and then they're picking up the car at the auto repair place,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting his luggage, and they're all like kind of like bickering over it. I think they crashed the car immediately too, right?
I don't recall.
And then, but then when because then it makes so much more sense when they're, ditching the luggage off the train, and you're
Right.
like, oh, it's their father's luggage.
It's baggage.
It's baggage.
Well, and
so
someone else
so
brought-
heavy-handed.
Someone else brought this up that
Oh.
they physically carry their
Oh.
baggage until
Yeah.
toward the end when they have to get
They
rid of
cast
it.
out.
Like,
But-
I mean, it is it's like metaphor.
Yeah.
but, like,
It is very like heavy-handed. I think that scene of them, it's less heavy-handed when you put in the scene of them going to get the car and the luggage,
yeah.
and they're all kind of like,
well, and I love the shot where they do release the baggage is that slow-mo tracking shot where they're running for the train, if I'm remembering correctly. And like, it's just such a gorgeous shot.
yeah.
And I mean, filmmakers love trains, but like Wes Anderson loves train. Like the whole movie's a damn tracking shot.
And
Like,
Bill Murray misses the train at the beginning.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's his like cameo in Darjeeling
Oh,
Limited. Is
funny.
he's running? They're all running for the train. He's running too. They get on. He misses it.
Oh okay.
So then you're like, Bill Murray. He was gonna be in the
He's
movie.
like he was gonna be in the movie, but now he's not.
Thank
Yeah.
God Gene Hackman's not around. Otherwise,
Yeah, Wes Anderson would go insane. Do you have a favorite moment?
I can't think of any particular.
Don't hurt yourself. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I've only seen Grand Budapest and Life Aquatic multiple times.
Yeah,
Everything else, like, one time.
you're not wrong.
Grand Budapest has some great stuff when they're escaping from prison. If you remember all
Oh
that,
my God.
Harvey
God,
Keitel
yes.
and them,
Oh, yeah,
and they're
so
digging
good.
their way out.
Dude, yes. The, don't they, like, throw the rope down?
Yeah.
There's, like, a rope scene.
And I think they all get away, right?
Yeah.
Or one of them dies. I don't remember.
Maybe Harvey
but-
Keitel dies.
I think Harvey Keitel gets shot, but
Yeah.
gets killed by Willem Dafoe. I don't know. Willem Dafoe is like really intense in that movie.
Yeah.
I just realized that patron Would You Kindly said the exact same thing about directors loving trains.
Nice.
So, there you go. There's that. Yeah. Do we think that Wes Anderson? We don't think he's like stuck in the past or like
No.
mired by nostalgia.
He
or anything?
just made a movie set in the future.
Whoa.
Boom.
Isle of Dogs.
Future.
The future.
Future.
I thought about that too because he does weigh on nostalgia a lot. But
Yeah.
Isle of Dogs, I don't remember what year it's in.
I think it's like the year like 20XX or something. I think it's like not specified
Yeah.
future year, like an anime.
And he's dealing with like
But maybe I'm
upcoming future issues like environmental degradation and
Trash Island.
Trash Island. So
They just call it that, right? They're just
Yeah.
like, they're on Trash Island. Yeah. I don't think he is. Anywho, to wrap up, are there any other thoughts that you have about our good buddy Wes?
I think it's really, really cool when any director can create an entire filmography that is so rock solid.
Yeah.
The amount of freedom that he's earned, like he's telling the stories he wants to make. So even to circle back to like, is he too nostalgic? It's like, just let him make what he wants to make. Like, he's an artist, he's a creator. He's obviously using his life experiences and passions to make what he wants to make. And he's, never made a bad movie. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd say every frame's a painting. Every choice is
That YouTube channel.
yeah. every choice is meticulous. Every piece of dialogue could just be a yeah or a okay, but it's not. It's so constructed in an artful way. That's not how people speak, but I
Right.
appreciate it because I don't want to watch me speaking. I want to watch somebody better than me speaking.
I think you speak quite well.
How cordial of you.
Your eloquence, your perspicacity leaves nothing to be desired.
I did think I put on deodorant today, but I think if there's a Wes Anderson movie you've watched and you've thought like that's not for me, like maybe Darjeeling Limited, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't watch it. Just try
Watch it
watching it,
again.
especially if it's free and you can, because I've been there and I've had that moment and nothing's not everything's for everyone, but
Yeah.
So give it a rewatch. It's like Kubrick. Same thing.
Yeah.
You watch Kubrick movies once and you really got to watch it again to really get everything. There's so
Yeah.
much attention to detail. Like Wes Anderson, I bet you guys pick up
Like Doctor
things all the time.
Strangelove gets funnier every time I see
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
Same with the Wes Anderson stuff, actually. Like, things that you don't realize are jokes, later on subsequent viewings. Yeah, I like his films a lot. I think that they're just so artfully made that it has to be appreciated. I don't know.
Seems like it's always coming from a good place.
Yeah.
Wes Anderson seems like a jolly dude.
I mean, he's definitely like a tyrant, I think, on set. Like,
But who
definitely
isn't?
Like an
You always
auteur.
hear
yeah,
that.
you
Right.
don't want to cross those corduroys.
Right,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's
But
like,
I think
is
he's
it-
like, just like no nonsense. But like, I
Yeah.
don't think he's like a
I think
dick.
he probably knows what he wants.
Right, and he's gonna
mean-
get it. Dadgum.
Wes gonna give it to you.
Wes gonna give it to you.
Because you hear these stories about like people being like crazy on set, and it's like, they're working. He's a boss.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the manager.
Yeah.
He's the director. It's like,
Yeah.
I do have a thing where I feel like there's no excuse to like be horrible to people on set.
Totally.
Like
Yeah,
people are
Christian
like,
Bale.
people are
Yeah.
like Michael Bay. He's
Michael
it's like,
Bay,
there's no excuse.
legendarily an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend who used to work on the lot at Warner Brothers or wherever, they used to play a game where they would drive their go-kart through or like golf cart, whatever, through the
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay set just to like hear him screaming at the interns and
Oh
stuff. They're like, well, who's he gonna be screaming at today? And he was just always like screaming at somebody. Yeah. Doesn't sound
My
pleasant.
favorite story is him and T.J. Miller, where he shouted at T.J. Miller and was like, "They told me you were supposed to be funny."
Nope, he's not.
Yeah.
But then on the other side of that is like David Lynch, where it's like he's making the most like fucked up stuff.
But he's
And, like,
soft spoken.
And everyone says like his sets are the nicest, like most safe feeling
That's great.
sets.
It's always those horror people. I told you.
Did I ever
It's
tell
like
you I met-
Guillermo.
Because
I
they
met
know
him one time?
darkness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guillermo's like doing messed up like demons and
Yeah,
stuff, and he's
he's
just
like a
like
sweetie pie.
He's like, oh, this is so great.
Yeah. And everybody describes him like he's a big teddy bear.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you I met David Lynch one time? Very
No.
briefly. We went to a very weird like weekend of
Oh,
like
I
transcendental meditation
Yeah.
like talks. Just because this was in film school, just because David Lynch was going to be there and he loves that stuff, but we just wanted to see David Lynch,
Nice.
whatever. We didn't care about the other stuff. But and like Donovan was there and like talking. It was very strange. But the Mellow Yellow musician. Yeah, David Lynch very funny. But like in real life, he's like somebody's like nice grandpa, or like uncle.
So cool.
Like meeting him was just the nicest thing. It was so pleasant.
Before I saw him, I knew his work, and before I ever heard him speak, I thought he'd be like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm on my work. And then you hear him, he's like, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll make another one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll make some more Twin Peaks. Maybe.
Yeah. Like the amount of times he's just like, so that's what I meant by that. My favorite, I think I've told the story before, but my favorite moment from that weekend, someone asked him, they were like, you love to have your characters come from darkness into the light. Why is that? What's the symbol for that? And then he just like leaned forward to the mic and he's just like, I love to see characters come from the dark into the light. And like that's how he ended every answer. He would like, it sounds like he's gonna keep talking, but then he just doesn't, and he leans back, and then everyone laughs and then starts clapping. It's so funny. Oh man. Anyway, David Lynch. But all right. Quote challenge. We're gonna end on that.
Okay.
So we gotta think, rack your little brains for a quote. Doesn't have to be from Wes Anderson, but it can be.
Oh.
The general rule is a movie that you think someone else on the table has seen.
Okay, I have one.
All right, lay it on us.
Come see the violence inherent in the system.
I know this.
I knew you would.
Do you know that? I actually tweeted this yesterday.
Did you? No!
I literally tweeted that phrase
No!
yesterday. Yeah.
I haven't.
No idea.
I don't
After
really
voting-
go on Twitter.
After
a
voting,
ton
someone was
anymore.
like, I'm being repressed. And then I was like, come see the violence inherent in the system. It's
see.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
No, I've seen it once. 20
Where
years
you?
ago.
Oh, you like reply tweeted it.
I reply
something?
tweeted it on that tweet, yeah. So I was like,
okay.
I'm being repressed. And I was like, come see the violent inheritance in the system.
Always guess Monty Python.
Yeah. Let me think of one. This one's real easy, I think. And what would be the scientific purpose of killing it? Revenge.
Jurassic Park. The Fly.
What would be the scientific purpose of killing it? Revenge.
The revenge part is for sure. I'm not sure the exact
thing.
phrasing on the first part. Might be hunting it.
Mimic.
No. Like one person in the audience is like, what would be the scientific purpose in killing it? And then he leans forward and he just goes, revenge.
Oh, it's Life Aquatic.
Yeah.
Steve Zissou. It's when it's the
Aquatic.
jaguar shark.
Yeah, the jaguar shark.
Oh,
Yeah.
They might say of killing the shark. I'm not sure, but yeah. You got one?
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah,
7.
That's gonna be
You got it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. A lot of boating in
A
7.
lot of boating.
8-Legged Freaks.
Yeah.
Is,
I watched Jaws 3 days
Who's
ago.
the main guy in 8-Legged Freaks? It's like Arquette.
is
Isn't
it David
David
Arquette?
Arquette?
Is it David Arquette?
I don't
with a
think it
mustache,
is,
with
dude.
with a moustache.
I think it is.
But Jaws, though, for real.
Jaws.
that
holds up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That ride's not there anymore at Universal Studios, is it? Florida?
know, it's a
I don't
bummer.
remember. I don't think it is.
Now they're getting rid of Jurassic Park and making it Jurassic
They're
World.
reskinning it, yeah.
Jurassic
Dude, that Jurassic World
World.
Evolution game looks good. Comes out
I
on
haven't-
Tuesday.
I haven't
I
looked at it
think.
yet.
It's like a park management game, but
Oh.
like you can get down in there with the monsters and
Yep.
stuff, and like or dinosaurs, and like things don't have to go wrong. I think.
Yeah.
Don's
make
very
a-
excited. Talk
yeah,
to
you can
Don
make-
about it.
Oh, I bet
It's like
he
The
is.
Sims, but Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Can you just like press the button and be like, go wrong?
yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
Like
You
open
use-
the gates.
Yeah, or like you could probably just like turn off the fences and see what happens. Yeah, that'd be great. Pull a Nedry. Well, Nedry said the system would go down for a few minutes.
Will Nedry be referenced
Yes.
in Fallen Kingdom?
Yes. Nedry will be in Fallen Kingdom.
Like his relative.
his little GIF will be on a computer in the background of the Please! I hate this hacker crap. Anyway, thank you, co-host Michelle Hubey. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Ultra special guest.
Thanks for having me.
Elyse
Yeah.
Willems.
It was fantastic. I could talk about Wes Anderson all day. I will come back if you want me to.
All right.
Um,
Wes Anderson Part 2 next month.
no, well,
JK.
we don't have time. We don't have enough
We
material.
don't have enough material. We plumbed the depths here
Yeah.
this month. But thank you so much for being on. Is there
thanks for
anything you
having
want to plug? Anything you want to throw out there?
Later in a few months, Untitled Fun Haus Rooster Teeth sketch show will come out, so you could follow me for updates on that.
You're like the main guy on that.
I'm one of the main guys.
The main dude.
It's been fun, but that we don't have announcement dates or anything. But I am excited for it, and yeah, I don't have anything else worth plugging.
That's great. That's enough.
That's enough.
Thing is fine.
That's enough.
What about your E3 coverage?
Yeah, we do that at YouTube.com/funhouse. But
watch us though.
Yeah,
that's the things I didn't want to be like, or maybe dual.
Dual stream it. If you want to watch the same stuff but with drunk people,
watch us.
It's a good
watch
take.
us. Yeah.
When does this go up?
This for patrons in the $7 and up tier, they will get it tonight as soon as it's done, and then it goes public on Freitag in the morning.
Okay. Wow, I thought this was a lot faster than I thought it would be.
Second Friday of every month is when it goes public, and the shows I do, the early tiers just get them when they're ready. So sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's an hour. You just gotta do.
Do
what
they
you
have to
gotta
finish the edit themselves? Like
Yeah,
they want the last.
yeah. I'll live stream it to them as I'm cutting it. I'm not gonna do that. That was a joke.
No.
But yeah,
We
could. We have the technology. I could kind of. Private streaming is
who
still
cares?
like really weird. And
Stop
dumb.
bugging us.
Stop screaming at Huber.
He's married
Don't
now.
stop
He's married
screaming.
now. He doesn't have
Husband.
time for live streaming.
Keep screaming. E3's there's gonna be a lot of screaming.
Oh, it's gonna be
man.
nonstop screaming.
Yeah.
Huber, what are you most excited for?
Resident Evil 2
Remake.
That's it.
remake.
The remake.
That's a great thing to be excited
That's the
for.
one.
You're like that.
It is.
Great.
No,
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
no, that's good.
Did you guys go to the Kingdom Hearts preview?
They
did.
Brad and Ben.
Wow.
And
I'm
somebody
super
did?
excited for that.
You were there?
I went.
They their expectations were sky high, and they said they were even surpassed.
It was
Now
great.
they're like in space.
It
With
was
their
great.
expectations, and they're going. I hope they're not let down.
I don't think they're gonna be let down.
That the trailer last time we did an E3 trailer hype fest where we showed trailers for games that we're hyped about, and I'd never really seen too much of Kingdom Hearts 3, and I was like, this actually looks really good.
Some callbacks.
callback.
Like really pushing the end of it.
Yeah.
So hype.
Organization 13, Xehanort,
Good organization.
Xehanort. Evil Xehanort. Good Xehanort.
Roxas.
Nobody.
Sora.
Everybody.
Xehanort's nobody. Roxas is everybody. Yeah.
Ben Moore put it best. The more games you play in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, the more confused you'll be about the story.
Right.
The less you'll know.
Unless you know.
Yeah.
It's like whatever the Dunning-Kruger effect. Like the more you know, the more you realize you're ignorant. So you actually admit to not being an expert, even though you are. But like if you're a moron, you're like, I know everything about that damn story. Brr.
Kingdom Hearts. I've played all of them except like one of them. I know nothing.
Yeah, I cut the timeline, and I'm like, I know the names, I know the order that they go in, kinda. They keep releasing like 2.8 dot prequel prelude subsequent finale, and I'm like, what the hell kind of title is that?
Let's be real. I'm here for Pocahontas.
Yeah. Oh, we all are. We
Best
need to
music.
learn to paint with all the colors of the wind.
Yo, favorite Disney soundtrack?
I love Colors of the Wind. Oh, Michael Bolton when in Hercules. I'm not a fan of
Bruce
Hercules.
Bolton?
I'm not a
Bruce-
fan of Hercules, but when Michael Bolton sings, I'll go the distance.
Oh,
good
I'm like,
one.
Doesn't that woman sing it the first time? Or no?
I don't know.
He sings it. Yeah, never mind.
man,
That's a great song.
Love
no,
Pocahontas
Lion
music.
King. I mean, be prepared.
That's a good one.
Aladdin.
Apparently they're not doing
Aladdin's
that
good
in
too.
the live action.
That's bullshit.
That is
be
BS.
Be prepared is a great song.
I really like I like the Beauty and the Beast ones. I really love Forevermore from the live action Beauty and the Beast. I know Jones doesn't like it because there's a different song there in the musical, but I'm like, hey, I like it. Dan Stevens, Legion. Pitch shifted down a couple of steps.
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey. Matthew.
Good show.
Scott.
Looks like
Scott.
Army Hammer.
Kind of does.
All right. The Guest.
The Guest.
The
Very
Guest.
fucking
Oh,
weird
man.
movie.
The Guest.
Great movie. Though.
The Guest did like,
I
I'm
like
like, what is the tone of this movie? Anyway, whatever. Patreon.com/EasyAllies. Thank you for your support. Check it out. YouTube.com. Fun Haus.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is a blast.
Font Hoons.
Fun Haus.
Fun Hoons. Fun Hoons. Fun Hoons. Thank you so much, Elyse Willems.
Thanks for
it's
having
great to
me.
see you.
This
Great
is
to have you
a
back.
blast.
I don't want it
time.
to end. I like keep
Yeah, I
stretching it
know.
out. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, Elyse, stay here with
Yeah.
us.
We could get food.
All right, let's go get food. See ya.
See ya, Fat Burger.